Hello students, good morning, and we are going through history chapter number 2, and we have already discussed about how the company has started to grow its power, and during this period we saw that there were many wars in order to gain the political control in the different Indian regions. So yesterday we have discussed about the Anglo-Mysore War, the first and second, and today I will discuss the third and fourth Anglo-Mysore War. In the third Anglo-Mysore War, which was fought between 1790 to 1792. So the English people entered an alliance with the Nizam and the Marathas and marched towards Seringapatnam. It is on the page number 27. So the English joined hand with the Nizams and the Marathas against Tipu Sultan and attacked Seringapatnam, which was the capital of, at that time it was the capital of Tipu Sultan's empire. Okay, Tipu had fought bravely, but he was not able to win. So there was a treaty, and the Treaty of Seringapatnam, it was known as the Treaty of Seringapatnam, in 1792. And what happened in this treaty, Tipu Sultan lost half of his territory, and he had to pay a war indemnity of 3 crores of rupees. Now the fourth Anglo-Mysore War, the time is 1799. Now the British people had already taken the half of the territory, but they were not satisfied with this. They wanted to totally capture Mysore. In order to do that, they attacked again in April 1799. This time, Tipu Sultan fought very bravely, and he had given tough resistance to the British. But was not able to win, and he died fighting bravely. And not only Mysore, the British annexed the territories of Kanara, Coimbatore, Dharampuram, and the entire sea coast of Mysore. So it all come under the British territory. So what we saw that the British had got the control of Bengal in southern part of India, Mysore, and now the British had already known about the power of the Marathas. They were powerful, they were extremely powerful, but they were not united. This was the weak point. But whenever we saw that this was a weak point of Indian kingdom, that they were not united, they were fighting with each other in order to have their control. So now they focused on the Maratha kingdoms. So they want to have control over the Maratha people also, and in this by doing so, they have also a series of war. They have a conflict, and there were 3 Anglo-Maratha wars: first, second, third, and we will discuss about that also. So in Anglo-Maratha War, what do we saw? That after the death of 5th Peshwa Narayan Rao, his uncle Raghunath Rao wanted to ascend to the Gaddi. Gaddi means throne. In order to fulfill his desires, he joined hands with the English. So now what we are looking in the Maratha territory, what is happening, that the Marathas themselves are not united, and everyone want to go to the throne, have the throne, and in order to achieve that, they seeked help from the English, and the English people are not going to help them for free, so that there must be some cost by taking the help of English people. Now when this happens, the Marathas opposed this, and consequently there was a war with the Marathas and the English. Then this war also ended with a treaty. Treaty means when nobody wins and there is some condition that some kind of compromise, and the war stopped on some conditions. So what was the Treaty of Salbai? And what was the basis of this treaty? This was a mutual treaty, mutual restitution of each other's territory. That means Marathas will not interfere in the matters of in the jurisdiction of the regions which were acquired by British, and the British will not interfere in the regions which was acquired by the Marathas. This was the treaty. Now this happened in the first Anglo-Maratha war. Now the second Anglo-Maratha war, the time was 1803 to 1806. It was fought between 1803 to 1806. Peshwa Baji Rao murdered Vithuji. Peshwa Baji Rao was an important person in the administration of Marathas. So he murdered Vithuji, and who was Vithuji? He was the brother of Jaswant Rao Holkar. Now, what do the Holkars do now in turn? Holkar defeated the combined armies of the Peshwa and Daulat Rao Sindhia. Baji Rao was forced to flee to Bassein, where he signed a treaty with the English. What was the treaty? The treaty was that British have now control over Pune. Pune was an important region in Maratha territory, Maratha kingdom. English troops were now stationed at Mysore, Hyderabad, Lucknow and Pune. The British forces also defeated Daulat Rao Sindhia and acquired all his territory. Jaswant Rao Holkar also came face to face with English, but was defeated and deprived of his possessions. So whoever want to have a conflict with the British was continuously being defeated by the British people. Now the British have gained control over Orissa and the territories of North Yamuna River, which includes Agra and Delhi. Okay, now page number 28. Here we have mention of Third Anglo-Maratha War, which was between 1817 to 1818. Peshwa Baji Rao, Daulat Rao Sindhia, Appa Sahib of Nagpur and Malhar Rao Holkar too again made an attempt to crush the political ambitions of the English, but were terribly defeated. Pune and its districts were merged with the Bombay Presidency. Now again, now the Marathas combined together to fought against the to crush the political ambitions of the English, to control it, but were defeated. It was too late actually. The British has increased their power. Now the Pune was included in merged into the Bombay Presidency. The territories south of the Vindhyas were made subordinate to the company. Baji Rao was sent to Bithur near Kanpur with pension. So Baji Rao has now given pension. That pension giving means now you have no administrative power, and just you will remain as a he cannot do anything politically. So he was sent to Bithur with pension. So in this way the Marathas were also controlled by the British. Now the company claimed that its authority of paramount or supervise. Now not only this, they now wanted to supervise, not only they want total control actually. It is clear that the company pursued an aggressive policy of territorial expansion under Lord Hastings. A new policy of paramounting was initiated. Lord Hastings introduced a new policy which was known as paramounting. And in the next video, we will discuss, in the next class, we will discuss about the consolidation of the empire direction, and we will further discuss how the Punjab province was annexed, and there are different systems, subsidiarized system, doctrine of lapse. These are different policies which the British took in order to have control over the Vind territory, how to restore or how to take care, how to they have been different territories, but they have to protect these territories from their further attacks. So what do they do for preserve or protecting their territory? We will discuss in the next video. So go through the video. If you have any problem, ask me any questions regarding your doubts. Okay, see you tomorrow.